Albuquerque.
No, ow. Ow, ow. Albuquerque.
I'm sure I said ow.
No, you said oh, Albuquerque.
I didn't say oh. I said Albuquerque. I could play it back to you.
I don't need you to.
Yeah.
You'll hear it in the edit.
I will. And whether our dear listener hears this or not.
No.
Anyway.
Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello dear listener and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin and with me as always is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to?
I have been somewhat distracted by Blueprints, a new puzzle game slash roguelike slash deck builder. It's a little bit of a deck builder.
Oh, you've been dragged into that too, have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. My progress has not been great, I'll be honest.
Right.
The random number generator has not been treating me particularly well. It's the end of day 28, and I have still not reached the first goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, because of that, has it felt like this is just deliberately wasting my time? Because some games that boast that there's hours and hours and hours of gameplay, a lot of that is just time wasting. That gives that.
Despite not reaching that first main goal, I am still getting things done.
Right.
Just at the moment, they're not actually getting me any closer to that goal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And while I've been avoiding getting distracted, I think the political presentation is almost exactly done.
Right.
Which is good, because with all the things other people are distracted by, opportunities to actually present it are thin on the ground.
Yeah, and honestly, the closer to the event is probably the better. Or not. It depends on how much thinking you're actually expecting them to do.
Well, ideally, I'd like to not be doing it the night before.
Oh, no. I wasn't talking the night before. Honestly, I wasn't.
Because I know that's how it went for us some years ago.
Well, we can do it during the ad breaks of the Canadian election while we watch that.
Yeah. Which, to be honest, I will be just sort of glancing at that one.
I certainly will be too.
There are people who I like over there.
There are people I like over there as well.
And I'd like them to be happy.
Yeah.
We'll work it out.
Yep.
We shall enter negotiations with the rest of the house.
I thought you were going to say into negotiations with Canada.
No. No, I don't think we need to do much negotiation with Canada.
I think
we're on the same page.
I think we're buddies.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty good there. Yeah.
What have you been up to?
I've been walking.
Yeah.
Had a wonderful day today. The forecast was, well, just a few days ago, the forecast for today was pretty miserable. And I had a good friend of mine wanting to get out and go for a walk, and yeah, it was not looking like that was going to be happening. And then last night the forecast basically changed completely, and it was a bonzer of a day.
Yeah.
And he proposed a particular trek that instant me went, no, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. And then the calm, rational me that doesn't exist said, no, I think we can do that. Well, it does exist once I'm in the thick of it. And we say, right, we're here, option A or option B being the really easy wussy way. and option A being the one that he initially proposed, and said, it's not too hot, but it's a nice, crisp, clear day, and this hill that he proposed us climbing has some wonderful views, and I haven't done it in years, so let's do it. And yeah, my body actually got me up there, and I'm achy, but I feel good. So so that was great. Not a lot of photos, but
I have some screenshots. For Blueprints, my screenshot folder currently has over 200 images in it.
So you're using screenshots as your...
Yeah, and taking notes as well. But
right,
yeah.
because I know that Daniel has got a notebook that he's just been taking heaps of notes.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for copying down drawings that he seems to have.
Yeah. To each his own.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, certainly gauging from a watch is interesting to watch, but yeah, it doesn't quite tick all the boxes for me.
Yeah.
The boxes that keep moving.
Yeah. Less photos than you wanted, I guess?
It was the kind of light that really didn't give the views justice. There was a bit of haze in the air because it was still, well, fairly early. But it was more the getting out with a good friend and having a good old natter, and we haven't gone out for a while, so that was good. Other than that, nothing too extraordinary or exciting. So, we might get into an extraordinary and exciting film instead. Or we might watch the one that's sitting next to you. I don't want to hype this film up. It's been many, many years since I've seen it, so maybe my memory is hazy, but I do recall quite liking this. What are we watching this week?
We are watching The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Made in 1930-something.
1948.
Oh, okay. Sorry. 1948. It's in black and white. It's probably in mono. And it's in 133 to 1?
137 to 1.
Oh, okay. So cinema ratio.
What this calls a regular.
Yes. Would you please tell our dear listener what the plot synopsis on the back of the case reads?
The story features Humphrey Bogart, Walter Huston, and Tim Holt as a trio of down-and-out Americans in 1920s Tampico. Pooling their resources, they strike off into the mountains of Mexico in search of gold. Hounded by jungle Indians, a fortune-hunting Texan, and cold-blooded banditos, they must finally confront the most dangerous adversaries of all, themselves.
Well, that's what we're about to watch. No doubt full of racial stereotypes that we shall have to deal with. Thomas is going to open the case. He's going to blow the dust off the... Actually, one of the kids dropped the case earlier, and we were talking about the chances of it having broken the disc inside, and I had to explain to them that, honestly, to break a CD, DVD, Blu-ray, it takes quite an effort, and it takes that effort until it reaches that point of no return and then just explodes.
Yeah.
So
it's small. It's small, which helps.
Yeah, but I don't know whether you have seen a disc shatter.
Yeah.
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 Thomas is going to put the unshattered disc into the Blu-ray player. We're going to watch it and come back and talk about it, so we shall catch you on the flip side.
Turn to side B.
No, it doesn't have a side B. I had to have a look. I knew that it was an old disc. I knew that it was in black and white. I got the year, a decade or so out. But I knew that this
just not
disc
long
was only
enough
one
for
side.
a second side, is it?
It was only 1 hour and 34?
96 minutes.
96. All right. Well, do all that stuff that I said you were going to do. Go on. Quick.
Not while we're still recording.
Oh, you mongrel. So, what did you think?
I think that the pacing was fine. It was just pacing between too many bits.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you feel that the length of movie that we thought we were going into would have been far better than the length of the movie that we ended up watching.
I would have been very happy with the hour and a half listed on the back of the case, which I still feel has to come from some sort of NTSC PAL markup. But the maths is not great.
No, it
the
doesn't,
maths would
doesn't work at all.
suggest 115 minutes, but it wasn't that. The film is listed on Wikipedia at 126.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And if you take that, 24 frames per second, and speed it up? Speed it up to PAL's 25 frames per second, you get about 121 minutes, which is almost exactly what we got.
I find it interesting that, so on the case it was 136, and it was 206.
No, on the back of the case it was 96, which is to say an hour 36.
Yeah, right.
Not 136.
No, sorry. I meant an hour 36. And it was 2 hours and 6, which is the 30-minute difference. I don't know. None of it works. Somebody goofed, and that goof has been repeated in a number of places, I think.
I am quite sure the maths I have done is correct, and that theirs is not.
Right.
The point is, it was too long. But I otherwise enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw, but I saw too much of it.
And that is completely disregarding the kookaburras. Did you not hear the kookaburras all through the movie?
No.
There are kookaburras. The kookaburra sound effect all through the movie. Especially one scene at night, which is really, really weird because kookaburras don't tend to call during the night. And more importantly, there are no kookaburras in Mexico. It was stock audio. I can't believe you didn't hear the kookaburras.
No, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Obviously not.
I was looking at the acting, which was all right.
I was impressed that the director got his dad to play the old man. And he did a fine job. He did also insist that his dad took his false teeth out to do it. So,
two of a long line of Houstons.
Yeah, yes. Well, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And pacing-wise, I did not have a problem with it other than the fact that I'm exhausted. And so had framed my head in the fact that it was going to be an hour and a half long. And it was longer than that.
It was.
Do you have anything else to say about this film?
No. Which is...
It was nominated for 4 Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And won 3. So it got Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Walter, John's dad, got Best Supporting Actor.
Yep.
It was also nominated for Best Film.
Yep.
But lost to the very first non-American film to receive the Best Film, which was Laurence Olivier's Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, Best Picture is a production award, and yeah.
Yeah. I think the Burrows did a good job. It certainly did suffer a bit from the racial stereotypes going on there, and some phrasing that would be certainly considered racist. But it wasn't as bad as I had psyched myself up for.
I have certainly consumed worse.
Yes. Is what you saw what you were expecting from the plot synopsis?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that seems about right.
I think the chemistry worked well as far as the corrupt influence of greed and how the development of paranoia.
It's got lovely themes running throughout. You know, it is important that the film opens with them getting scammed.
Yes.
Because it's the same problem.
And also interesting that the other things that occurred was that repetition of someone who was extremely well off and I guess was generous to a certain extent until he'd had enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, I think it's a good film, and I now remember again why it's still on the shelf. Yeah. Anything else?
No. I think now that I have found more things to say, I have said all of the things.
I want some of your things. What do we need things for? I don't need no stinking things. Oh, I'm being racist now. All right, we shall move on then.
The following segment has no title. Thank you. And we will start over on Spotify with Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
So I went to go see that new Minecraft movie with my friends, and it was surprisingly really good. Luckily, we weren't stuck with the people who threw the popcorn during the chicken jockey scene.
Oh, dear.
The most chaos was yelling the things that were in the trailer or making stupid references, but afterwards I went to that friend's house and we door-dashed some food and made skits.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that's happened with me in a cinema along those kinds of lines, I think I mentioned it before, was people throwing oranges around and throwing them at the backs of people's heads. So you get the splatting effect. But certainly not what I'm seeing on YouTube of what's going on in the cinema during Minecraft showings. Have you seen it at all?
I have seen the occurrences. I don't need to see the film.
Oh, no. I don't need to see the film either. But,
no.
All right. Oh, well, thank you, Caitlin.
And over on YouTube, M.
Hi, M.
The song of the same name as last week's film, Tokyo Drift, is an earworm.
Right.
Or maybe I've just heard the intro of the song too many times.
I must confess that I am a severe sufferer of earworms.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a song that is listed as a potential earworm, I tend to try and avoid it like the plague. So I did not go back and listen to the song of the same name due to a severe avoidance of such things happening.
Looking forward to more absurd film titles in the series. You will see, dear listener, there is no consistency whatsoever.
No, and on the walk today, my friend asked, what type of films have you been watching lately? And I mentioned to him that we've gone down the Fast and Furious rabbit hole, and he asked how many there were, and I know there are lots, and I do not know the names of any of them from basically here on in. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
There's 10 of them, plus one detour. And congrats on 250 episodes.
Well, thank you very much.
Because we didn't celebrate it particularly well last week.
We did an appalling job of it. We sort of semi-hinted about cake and then forgot what the cake was about.
Well, the problem is the format is you call me your fellow film watcher, compadre and son, and then I say hi, hello, and then you say, what have you been up to? And that's not really conducive to immediately leading into a celebration of 250 episodes, is
No,
it?
it isn't. Even though we did mention that there was cake coming.
Yeah. Anyway, I am glad to have spent 251 episodes as your permanent guest host.
Oh, I've hated every minute of it. What was I thinking? I called all the other people that I knew to come and co-host, because, you were this was a temp job, Thomas, for you, and
here we are 6 years later and I'm still doing it.
Yeah. It's been good.
Yeah.
This is our final episode.
Oh, dear. M is also responsible for our only guess at last week's file name.
And it was a tricky one. It wasn't
not.
really.
Well, there
But
are
it could have
things,
gone in
there
many
are things
different
to
directions.
trip you up there.
Yeah.
M has gone with Tokyo Drift. That's TKYO-DRFT, which it turns out is exactly correct.
M was picking up what I was putting down.
Yeah.
And did very well there. This week could be far, far more difficult.
Yeah, there's
Because we watched
lot
a
of
film
words.
that's got a lot of words in it. Therefore, I will give you a hint. I did use all 8 characters.
Great.
I'm about to show Thomas what I used as the file name for the recording of the podcast on the film, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Okay, I can see how you got there,
Mm-hmm.
which is good.
Yeah.
We will see if other people can work that out.
Yes.
If you have file name guesses, or film suggestions, or any other sort of commentary on the content of this here fine podcast, then please do let us know in the YouTube comments, or the Spotify comments, or the Tweety Bird, or
The Blue Sky.
or the Book of Many
Faces.
Complexions.
Yes. Or the elephant. Yes.
Blue Sky or the elephant I might not catch, per se, but like
But
I
will
do
keep an eye
have
out on
them, but
Yeah. All right then.
yeah, any of those, let us know.
Please.
Or don't.
We're going to move on.
We are.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
And it's your turn.
It is my turn. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move on to the film that I thought might be too furry, and then we watched a furrier film.
Okay.
At random.
Right.
This film is a Netflix original,
Right.
and it's from 2020.
Mm.
It runs at 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Or does it?
I suspect this one actually runs at 2 hours and 6
That is probably
minutes.
fairly accurate. Okay.
It stars Charlize Theron
Right.
and Kiki Lane and Marwan Kenzari and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Sort of a superhero film, but not really.
Right.
It's an action film, as they go. I'm going to read the description.
Oh, good,
'cause it doesn't
good.
contain the title.
Thank you.
4 undying warriors who've secretly protected humanity for centuries become targeted for their mysterious powers, just as they discover a new immortal.
And the name is not contained in that description.
It's not, no.
Right, so it's not the Immortals.
No.
No. It's the We Do Not Dies.
Based on, I believe, a comic series, The Old Guard.
Right.
Yes.
I do remember that popping up when it popped up.
This is a film I have seen before, and
You've seen it, right.
and can remember thinking, yeah,
All right.
that was all right.
Okay.
And now I want to see if that recollection is correct.
That is a very worthy use of this podcast. So next week we are watching The People Who Do Not Die,
Yeah.
aka
The Old Guard.
The Old Guard. We hope that you can join us. But until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us, in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
Are they gone? Are they gone?
Yeah, I didn't have anything else to say. It's no ending bit. Unless you use this as the ending bit, but
Maybe.
I don't know why you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Nothing of substance happened.
No. My goodness, what is that over there?
It's a clothes rack with clothes drying on it. It's been there for ages.
But if I edit that out, it will end as a cliffhanger.
Yeah, but you're not going to, are
as
you?
opposed to a clothes hanger.
Yeah. Now that we've made a shambles of it, you're just going to leave it all in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm stopping now.
You mongrel.